Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome you all on my YouTube channel, My Studies. This is Sunny with the new video on note making, which is one of the important topics for class 12th and 11th. Here you will get the description of note making in short and tricky ways. Actually, note making is a question which is generally asked for 8 marks, where 5 marks is for note making and 3 for summary. So I will be talking all about this in this video. As per the definition of the note making, or as per the importance of it, note making is a skill. Remember, it's a skill that requires comprehension skills. It's a kind of comprehension skill, means how much can you understand after reading a passage that is checked in this note making process. And as per the questions of class 12th asked in the board exam, says that it's very important, and not only for the purpose of the attempting answer in the board or the exams, but it is also important for your general life, because notes can help you to precise or make sort of all the descriptive passages which you have to study, or even sometimes for literature which you have to study in short forms. So let's talk about note making and all about it. As I have already talked to you all, that it's a comprehension skill and the ability to identify relevant information, to note them in points. Remember, this is a kind of comprehensive skill which helps you to uh, get the relevant information from the passage which is given. Generally in the exam, it is given with a passage which you have to read out and then find out or make the notes. So let's talk the process. I will be talking about the format and the important points to remember about note making. Here, the process of note making says that you will be given a passage to read and then make prepare the notes. So as you read, identify the key points. Remember, when you read the passage, you identify the key points, identify the important points, words or and phrases, and make or mark or underline them. When you read the passage, identify the key points, phrases or words in that, and underline them, or you can also mark in the reading time, only while reading time. After this, then the related idea that support the key points should be also underlined or marked. Once you identify the main points of the passage given to you, number them, put them down with their supportive subpoints. See, when there is a passage, there is something very important talked in that. So that something very important should be numbered or marked. And then relevant information or subpoints about that important idea should also be marked. Maybe sub points. Sometimes it is also said that in one paragraph there are some another points which can be noted, which we call sub points. Okay, note them down in phrases without full forms of the verbs, auxiliaries, articles, prepositions, and conjunctions. Remember, when we write notes, we write it in very short and tricky ways. That's why you note down them in phrases, in the form of phrases, in the form of short sentences. Avoid using articles, prepositions, and auxiliaries. Now, it should be meaningful. Remember, avoiding auxiliaries, articles, and preposition doesn't mean that it should not be meaningful. When you are noting down the points, it should be in the phrases and meaningful. Remember, being meaningful is very important. After reading that point, you can understand, or reader can understand what does it mean. So that it should be meaningful, but do not write in full sentences. Avoid writing full sentences. Use abbreviations, arrows, symbols, colon, are long dashes to indicate the meanings or clarify the complete sentences. You can use abbreviation or arrows, symbols. Generally words are written in abbreviation forms. Remember, we will be talking about abbreviation at the end of this passage. The division between points may be marked by using, now see, when you are noting down, jotting down sub points, heading, subheading, they should be marked either in the number like 1, 2, 3, which I will clarify in the format just after this, or you can also number them when you are writing points of the sub points, then 1.1, 2.1.2, or 1.3, or for sub points like 1.1 a or 1.11 and 1.22, like this. Okay, or you can use letters also like a, b, c for pointing down or marking the headings or subheadings for main points, and 1, 2, 3 in Roman for the sub points. Let's talk how. See, this is the format. This is the format which you have to follow in the note making process. You will be given a passage, you will read down, you will note down, you will mark the important heading, important idea of the passage, and then sub idea of the passage. And while writing them down in your notebook, take care that the format follows with the heading. This is also called title of the topic. If you understood, if you understand the title and understand the passage, then title should be written in the beginning. If there is a problem on understanding, then you can write title at the end of the passage too. So title of the topic will be written in the center. You can underline it, and remember, as the marking scheme says, there is one mark for title of the topic. So you should not think what to write. You should write one topic, one title out of the passage, which will be correct one. It is generally marked. Remember, it is marked with 1 marks, so it will provide you 1 mark when you give it title. And then after writing title, we should write heading. Heading or like title is also called heading. So now from one paragraph you try to find one heading, that is called subheading, and that will be at least in one passage, in one note making you try to write 3 to 4 headings, and under each heading prepare some subheading. In subheading, the points will be written, as I already talked, points will be written like 1, 2, and its internal point will be written point 1, point 1, and point 1, point 2. Means these 2 points 1 and 2 is the sub points of this heading, this subheading what you call. Remember, if there are some other important information in that paragraph, so you can list them like 1.2a, 1.2b, and then write in phrases or note format. Now for same first subheading, if there are another point you think, then it will be 1.3, and then the note. As I already told, you have to list out at least 3 to 4 subheadings. So here it is second subheading, and then follow second point 1, second point 2, and if you think in second point 2 you have some more points to write, then it will be followed like second point 2a, second point 2b, and then write the points, write the informative idea that will help you to understand the passage better. And here in the next, the same follows up to 3 to 4 points. Remember, after completing your heading, subheading, and subheadings, the points, after writing those points, you have to list the use of abbreviation which you have used in your passage. If you have used the subheading at the end, then you can write. If you have used the abbreviations, then at the end you can note it down the title like key, and then the word which you have used as the abbreviation, and the complete word. Mind it, boys, that key is very important. Noting down the key at the end of the passage or at the end of the points, sub points, is very important. It is asked for 1 marks as the marking scheme, so it will provide you 1 marks. At least 4 to 5 keywords should be written in the note making. Let's see how. Here is the example which I have taken for you all to make you clarify how to prepare it. Suppose it is given for a passage which can be headed as the test of life, the plus factor. This is my title of the passage which I have made into note. So let's see how. This is the title, and here I have written heading, the importance of the test of life. This was the heading for the one paragraph, and these all 1 2 points were important points from that paragraph which I have listed in this form: illness and sufferings will char. See here, CHAR. It's a abbreviation which I have prepared, or which you have to even write, and the complete meaning or form of the abbreviation I have listed here at this corner. You can see CHAR stands for character. So when you are preparing abbreviation, you should list them what for you are preparing, and at the end you must write like this the key abbreviation or keyword of abbreviation, and then write the abbreviation and the complete word you have used for. At least 5 to 6 or 4 is very essential to be mentioned. You can use this space for writing this, or at the end of this note making too you can write. And see, for the second point here, it is 1.2. Remember, this mentioning the points in the sequence is very important. Here I have written 1, and then 1.1 came just after a proper spacing. It should not be simultaneously following like under it. It should be with the proper spacing. Remember, it is very important to provide you 3 marks or get 3 marks in the exams. Now for 1.1, we have to write from here 1.1. You can scale it out. You can use a scale to number the space or proper spacing for these numbers. Now 1.1 is here, 1.2 is here, and these points will be there in the passage which you have to write. Now for 3 to second subheading, I have written change of focus required. Now in that passage, in the paragraph of second subheading, these were the important details which I have listed. 2.1, and this is the note which we have to list out. 2.2. Now see, in 2.2 there is one important, there are many important points, so it's 2.2 first, then 2.2 second. See the proper sequencing and spacing of these 2.2 first and second. This would be also taken care in the process. Remember, this is very important to provide equal spacing and clear spacing between each point you are writing. Sub points will go after writing right side, after the heading or subheading, and then sub points will go further to the right. Now third subheading, then subheading, and then like this you have to follow. Here you can see 4, I have used 4 subheading, and then under them subheading. And in the second, see, if there are more important points, then we can list them like subheading 2. Okay, so try to follow the format and use the idea. It will provide you, of course, 5 marks for getting notes. And remember, clarity of the content is very important. You should write it very clearly. This spacing is important, putting title is very important, and then key of abbreviation. you have to list. There are some international keys which you can use them directly, and some of them you can frame from your side. Like for government, we use govt. It is international abbreviation which is known to everybody, but sometimes see positively it's a international key which everybody uses. But if you are finding there are no such words, the bigger words are there, you can frame out by your own. Now next is to write down summary. Summary is asked for 3 marks in the exams, and 5 for 5 marks note making. So for summary, whatever points you have listed below, see whatever points you have made, whatever points you have written here in the notes, you have to prepare a short summary from all these points. So the summary of the passage based on your notes should be enlisted with these ideas. Let's talk what should we care about that. The summary should be in about 80 words. Remember, the summary is asked for writing in about 80 words, and it is for 3 marks. Sometimes it is also asked for 4 marks when we are practicing, but 3 marks it's essential. You have to use 80 words. Calculatively, if you talk about then 8 to 9 or 10 lines, because if your word limit goes 10 words in a line, then 10 lines about, or if it goes 7, then you can exceed 10 to 12 lines. You should understand it and very clear. Don't go on writing more than that. Do not add any fresh points that you have not included in your notes in the summary. Do not add any fresh point. Whatever note points you have written in the note, follow them all, use them all, and prepare a short sweet summary to be attractive. Build your summary out of the points in a well connected manner. Now here you can use all the things to connect, like you can use connectors, prepositions, helping verbs, and each grammatical skills using those essential points which you have written. Establish links and use sequence marker whenever required. Use sequence marker means you can use connectors to connect one passage, one line to the another line. Understand the process of note making once and keep making notes of every lesson from better learning. And mind it guys, it is not essential for the exam purpose only, but it is also important for the life. Whenever you are in official duties or work, you can prepare notes to understand it better afterwards, and can draft your drafting afterwards. Prepare the summary, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my studies by Sunny Singh. Thank you. Keep enjoying, keep liking.